Given that you scored like 770 in the GE, like the original edition, and 785 in the Focus Edition, it may seem like it's easier to score in because you have scored 785 in the Focus Edition. So is it easier test?
It's not easier. So I'll tell you why exactly I scored 770 and why I scored 785. Okay. So when I scored 770, I went without any preparation. So I did not really prepare for sentence correction. My preparation for RC was always there because I had given CAT. I was teaching for CAT. I knew reading comprehension well. With CR also, because I was teaching CR as part of CAT, I had a very good idea of CR. But I didn't have idea of CR specific to GMAT as such, which is slightly different. So I was getting penalized in the CR part, and I was doing terribly in the sentence correction part.
So critical reasoning and the verbal reasoning part?
Yeah, in verbal reasoning, critical reasoning, I was doing not great, but not terrible. Okay. But sentence correction was terrible. So basically, because of those two parts, my overall score was getting impacted. In terms of quant, I was getting 51 out of 51. I couldn't.
Full marks.
Yeah, so I couldn't do anything better there. So because it is 50-50% weightage, my full marks over here were not compensating for the weaknesses over here. Okay. So I couldn't do any better over here. So even if I took the test again, the same thing would happen, where I would have the same score in quant, but I couldn't do anything better over here because I was not really prepared for the sentence correction part. So what has essentially changed between that and this is that I would say that with the removal of sentence correction, now the preparation that is required for GMAT specifically has gone down because I was not preparing specifically for GMAT. Okay. So with just CAT preparation, you can do fairly well in GMAT FE, but that would not be the case earlier. Okay.
So are you saying that you did not prepare at all for GMAT FE?
I didn't prepare at all in terms of, I saw a few questions. So I knew that, sentence correction checked parallelism. So I checked, what is parallelism? I knew that.
But you also teach parallelism.
Yeah. So I had some idea, but I had not really solved the kind of questions that come in GMAT.
Okay.
So I was completely not prepared, but I knew the basics. So you know the basics, you think over there. But if you're thinking over there, obviously accuracy will not be great. Okay. And this requires accuracy. Okay. So that was the only difference I feel. In this particular exam, when I got 780.
What about data insights?
Data insights, the integrated reasoning, I think I got 8 on 8 because again, it is a way of reading charts. So if you're prepared for CAT, you know how to read charts, you know how to deal with tables. It was not difficult. Without specific preparation also, you can do well in that part. The only part where you would not do well is the sentence correction because you had no previous idea about it. Now they have basically over here, that part is gone, but because you have data insights, you might still struggle in parts of data insights.
Okay.
So when I actually did the 785 in the Focus Edition, I was prepared. I was much more prepared because I was making the GMAT course. I was researching the exam. I was giving, seeing the OG guide. I was seeing the questions that were coming. So I was there was a difference in preparation also. Okay. So I knew much more about the exam by the time I gave the FE. So that was the first difference. The second difference was many of the things, the overlap between CAT and GMAT FE has increased. So if you are good at CAT, you will do much better now than you would do earlier.
Okay. So the reason I asked this is because people may look at your higher score and think that this is easier to score. And you told it's easier to score. But the data is showing that FE have lesser score compared to the older one.
So basically what is happening over here is that the quant questions I feel have gotten slightly harder maybe. Because what has happened is as they have narrowed the syllabus, you are asking for more questions from the same topic.
Yeah, algebra.
Algebra, arithmetic. As you solve more questions, the harder questions come. Okay. So now questions...
It's a dynamic exam, right?
It's an adaptive exam. So if you're asking more questions from the same topic, what will happen eventually as you solve more questions correctly, harder questions will come. Okay. If you had a more broader base, you had geometry, you also... So even if it actually increased in difficulty, it would not become too difficult. Okay. Now the difficulty has slightly crept up, but not by that much.